Hey, what's going on? It's your boy JoeThunder back once again with another episode of the Smoking JoeThunder podcast. You already know the latest and greatest in hip hop and cannabis news. Real quick shout out to Be Good Dispensaries, our official sponsor. Over there on 11 West Hamden, or if you're up north, they're across the highway on 120th across the highway from Boondocks. We got another banger for you, you know what I'm saying? Got a very special guest in the building. He's been here once, twice. It's probably the third time, you know what I'm saying?
I think so.
We got Rube Zilla in the building. What's going on, brother?
What's up, man?
Not much, man. How you been?
Super good. Good to see you.
High as fuck, right?
Yeah, man. I think we smoked 3 or 4 or 5 before.
5 or 6 big-ass joints, man. You know what I'm saying?
My eyes are closed.
Man, I have to open them, man. You know what I mean? Because we got a podcast. You know, I'm just joking, man. So how you been, brother?
Super good, man. Obviously, lots of life changes and shit.
A lot of shit been going on, right?
A lot of good, bro. I think the last time I was here, I had just finished up a dispensary up north. I was still drawing and dispos. Now I'm like curating and the creative director of dispos and shit. So
it's about a year and a half later, right?
Yeah, I want to say, or coming up on 2 at least.
So kind of tell what the change is and what you're doing now.
Sure, bro. So obviously, just first and foremost, just shout out the city of Denver. Always. There's the one that like kicked off my career. I could have done it in any city. But I just feel like the community out here is the one that like really gave me a shot and just like kind of, uplifted me and gave me space to do me. So with that said, weed was like an easy in for me. Weed, graph, weed, all that shit goes together.
Right.
So obviously my first wall being dispos and like a lot of my first jobs being cannabis related. I started to take more and more of those jobs, and it like gave me like a bigger network in weed with different companies and shit.
Right. Because you have the dial. You were with the Dialed In Gummies, right?
Bro, I'm still with Dialed In forever, bro. Gang. Gummy gang and shit. Jason Mangold, the owner, who's just a brilliant man. Just a humble ass dude. I still fuck with Eureka heavy. Those people actually, they took me out to the Super Bowl to have me do an activation.
What were you doing out there? Like, what do you mean by an activation? Like opening a store? Or opening
all right,
a
so
line?
actually they had me do an art activation in the sense of like instead of like painting graffiti or like on a big wood board, how we usually do when we do art activations. All last year I've been working with some tech companies and shit to build my own video game. Okay. So Eureka let me take that video game out there and let some weed smokers play it and shit.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, so I'll explain the video game in a little bit though.
And this was during the Super Bowl, right?
Oh yeah, this was Super Bowl weekend, so it's fire.
Did you go to the game?
No, bro. The Super Bowl, first of all, if anybody's listening, doesn't matter what city, doesn't matter what team, go to a Super Bowl city during Super Bowl weekend.
Oh, it's crazy.
Bro, it is a fucking carnival. Lit. I've never been to a football festival. That shit is fire.
Right.
What was the Eagles and the Chiefs playing? I don't give a shit about either of those teams. Only team I care about is the Bills. Go Bills.
Right.
But like,
it's craziness. There's shit. It's lit,
bro. So
there's
Phoenix,
shit going on.
They held down Phoenix, and then 20 minutes from Phoenix is Glendale, where the stadium is, and then like in a 20-minute triangle from that is Scottsdale, and Scottsdale's like this party ass town for the kiddos. I'm sorry, I'm not from Arizona, so I'm not very familiar, but from what it looked like, it was just lit ass clubs. So the NFL came through. Turn all those clubs into like official NFL activations.
Private shit. Yeah.
Fire stuff, bro.
Yeah, they kind of did that here for the All-Star game, the basketball All-Star game. They like kind of rented out all the shit. And like Jordan had like a big ass party, bro. And they like built him a club.
That's crazy.
Like right in the middle of Lodo, like built him a club. And I remember like my homie was driving him. And he like picked up like 5 or 6 like Jordan, Barkley, like fucking Terrell Owens, like everyone, bro. But they rented out like the homies, like a lot of his shit next to that shit. They just rented that shit out for like the whole week.
That's what's up. But yeah, dude. Just to answer your question, still fuck with a lot of these weed companies that I came in the game with, and that's just like been the secret sauce is keeping good long-term relationships with clients and stuff. But then like those like client relationships turn into other things. So
bigger and better, right?
Figuring out where your network plugs into each other. Not always thinking of you taking a shot, but you got to set up the play. I don't know. That's just the fun shit to me. It's
That's the alley-oop, bro.
yeah, doing the quarterback shit, coach shit.
Right. Like you said, you haven't really been painting lately, right?
Shit. The last time I painted a wall, a couple months ago. I was out in Austin, then I went to Oklahoma. Again, more dispensaries. I found my niche to where, like, I get paid to, go do a wall in a city or whatever, and then it allows me time and space to go get more walls and go just get up wherever I'm at in those cities. Mm-hmm.
So let's go back to the Super Bowl. What were you actually doing down there?
So all right, so down at the Super Bowl, there's like a weed park, right? The consumption park is what they called it, and
like every day or just for the Super Bowl?
It was for the 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So like during your Super Bowl activation, the NFL takes down those 3 cities I was telling you about. But like in Phoenix, let's say like their city park downtown, they had like these big ass fucking screens and it's a full on festival.
Right.
But not too far from that, there's a designated area, like a closed off park, because obviously the NFL don't want kids and weed, and
Is the NFL tripping on weed at all or no?
No, honestly, I don't think so, bro. I don't think any sports teams. I don't think they like between the NFL and NBA. Don't Google it, but they don't test for weed anymore just because.
Yeah, I don't think they do anymore.
Nah, man. Mad athletes advocate, like retired ones and dudes who are still in.
What's crazy about that though is because I've been with both football and basketball
And them
players
motherfuckers smoke weed.
that smoke weed, and like you said, back in the day, it was some shit. Like the basketball players, they would all just straight up meet up in one of the rooms. You know what I mean? And they would duct tape it and get all their fucking.
The Super Bowl
games.
team used to smoke hella Delta 9. Like what's it? Von Miller, Demarius Thomas and all them. They used to have weed delivered from a very mutual friend of ours. Type shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. During that activation though, I had a virtual reality video game set up. So what I do is let people come through. And this last year, I had the chance to work with Ripple XRP when the crypto craze came through and NFTs and stuff like that. I spent a lot of time painting Bored Apes. That's kind of like what put a lot of bread in my pocket at one point.
Right. How is the NFT shit now? Is it still there like a little bit?
I'm not going to talk shit, but I talk shit in my kitchen. No, if you know what you're doing, if you're a player in the game, if you
can still make some moves.
If you got
money?
bread to waste, if you can go to Vegas and waste $10K and it not hurt you Monday morning, then yeah, go ahead and fuck around with NFTs and cryptocurrency and stuff. But if you're just a dude who got into crypto because you had a few stipend checks from Joe Biden, you should probably chill.
For sure.
Because like a lot of those kids who are still in it, they made like a quick bag once in their lives, and like some people, it was the first time they ever saw $10K at the for doing nothing, right?
Right.
Like fucking a phantom $10K just lands in your pocket, $15-20K, and that shit was crazy. I remember like I'm busting my ass to paint these walls, and then it was when I painted my first Bored Apes, I got gifted an NFT instead of taking like payment or whatever.
Right.
So they hooked me, and I was there with the homies, and I was like, yo, y'all gotta give them some too, because if the CEO of Walt Disney got one of these, it's got to be worth money. Sure enough, it was worth money. So I like offed mine for like almost, it's like 25 bands.
You sold it.
Oh yeah, bro.
With the quickness.
Come on, bro. Like
I would hope so.
I ain't never had money like that before, so it was just like I had a homie who held on to his for I think he still got it. It's not worth as much as it would have been if he would have sold it back then. But like I wear pairs of rare kicks for that reason. Like I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna hold on to these. So if it's got sentimental value, cool. But me, when I got into NFTs and learned what I learned, I was like,
all, NFT right off the bat is no sentimental value. You need to get that shit
straight up, bro. You need to get your bag, get in and get out, and like that's the game I played. And then,
do you know anyone that lost a lot of money on NFTs?
I know some people who lost bags on just crypto in general. But like for me, if you're smart, it's just like when you go to an art show, right? And you ask somebody, oh, how'd you do tonight? Like, oh, I sold a couple pieces. I didn't sell anything. And it's more than that. It's just like, yo, who did you meet tonight? How did you fucking grow your business tonight? So when I got into NFTs, it was like, yo, how am I expanding my network? Who am I linking with who? If this dude's got, X amount of, these NFTs, or if he's worth this much, and I got a business partner or a client that I've worked with and he's worth this much, but they're kind of working in the same direction. That's called vertical integration. Read a book or listen to Nipsey Hussle.
Right.
And you match those two people together, and that alone, like, that's a fucking,
it's a bridge.
There you go. And like being the bridge for a lot of these folks who don't really know how to communicate to each other, right? Being able to just even facilitate some of those conversations or introductions expanded my network. I got to paint all over the fucking country. I got to make money doing it.
You were traveling, man, right?
Bro, I was booking. I was it was like for fucking
every weekend, shit.
Literally, man. I didn't stop moving for like 18 months. And then I was straight homeless, not because, it was like living out of a van or anything, but just I was home for 2 weeks. I was gone for 3 weeks.
Yeah, ain't no reason to pay rent when you on the road.
Bro, it was fun. But then, like, it gets taxing on your spirit. All that shit, like, everything in moderation, right? Just, like, you can't be getting drunk all the time or whatever.
Ooh, nah.
So, like, being on the road, being away from your kids, being away from your family, you know what I'm saying? Like, this shit takes a toll. Any fucking traveling entertainer, I feel like that's what I do more now than anything else. It's just, like, I'm no different than somebody who's got to pull up with their microphone or their keyboard, like do a show, sing, go to the next city.
Do some press, all that good shit.
Yeah, so like I got to land, I got to fucking make my sponsors happy, I got to put on my performance, I got to like, logistically figure everything out. So I think back early in this game, I used to tell my friends like, street artists, graffiti writers, like there's no reason why we shouldn't be treated differently than any other traveling artist, like musician. Fucking treat us like Lil Uzi Vert.
For real.
You know what I mean? Because like I met Nitros this past year. I've been working on a dispensary, Spark. This dispo hit me up. They're like, "Yo, we want a Rube Zilla wall," and I was like, "Cool. It's gonna cost you this much," but then like, long term, it's just another wall for me that sits in a dispo, and if your shit's shitty, then is it gonna help us? What's different? So they let me come in, and I asked them to be put me in a creative direction position. I got a lot of access to artists that are way more talented than I am.
Right.
People who inspired my career, I can bring them here. So they said, yeah. We started to figure out how to get all this art, taken care of and paid for and shit. And one of my first calls was to Nitros. And that shit was cool to be able to commission someone who directly was responsible for the inspiration. Like I used to sit in my cubicle and watch his fucking videos. Mm-hmm. And then I got the commission Hyro and Birdcap right after that.
Right.
Another two dudes who I was like, holy shit, these are guys who I used to watch their walls. I used to just be standing across the street watching them lay paint. So watching the evolution, just going from painting that very first wall to being able to say I'm doing shit like Super Bowl activations and curating whole dispensaries. Mm-hmm. Putting other artists in position. So you got those three great names, but then I also put local names in that same building right next to those paints and making it make sense. There's a lot of businesses and companies yo, throw graffiti at it and it'll sell us. It'll be cool.
That's what they do.
Yeah,
well, you think about it, everything is advertising, everything is letters.
Straight up, bro.
You know what I mean? You're just giving it a little more pizzazz. That's all that you're doing,
But outside of that, not retiring is Rube Zilla, but not really. That's not the focus for me. It was cool for a little while and shit. That's a fully organic being. Mm-hmm. Those faces and shit will live, and I can commercialize those and make money off of it. And if I need to pull those out of me or whatever, those, that's some shit I made up.
Right.
So
I wanted you to explain that. How did you come up with the faces?
Shit, bro. I just love cartoons. It's very, very.
What were your
my
favorite
whole life
as a kid? Your top 4 or 5.
damn, top 4 Ninja Turtles, SpongeBob, no particular order, by the way.
Right.
Thundercats, fucking, that's 3. Ninja Turtle, the movie Space Jam in general changed my life.
Okay.
And then
So you gotta say Looney Tunes then.
yeah, absolutely. Like, so like the whole era. So Tex Avery, Mel Blanc, like those illustrators, Hanna-Barbera, those illustrators were the people, like the first names I knew as artists. And like even now, like that's the type of shit that I want to collect in my house and like have. Those are the pieces that you'll see.
Right. No, for sure.
But like when it came to the faces, there's like a lot of like a deep traumatic story tied into like a part of that. But one of the things I would like to talk about, and I don't think I talked about enough in my career, is just like the spiritual practice that was built into these faces. Let me pass that back to you. So, I'll show you. I'll draw while we chat. But so you're familiar with the Eye of Ra and the Eye of Horus from Egypt, right?
Okay.
Those things are to represent your 5 senses. So that image, those 5 senses are the key to this reality. This, you open your eyes and you're here. You close your eyes right now, and we count to 5. I'm not gonna make you do it, but do it later. But who's that voice counting to 5, right? Who's thinking in the shower, talking to shampoo bottles and shit? That voice has been there since you were a kid, since you were 6 years old, when you were 16, when you were 26, your whole life. Yeah, I'll go there. When I really started to get into like esoteric consciousness and trying to like expand my thinking outside of like sneakers and work and shit like that, trying to like really explore my own mind, it's like pre-psychedelics, really started to just go back to like Egyptians and like the study of just like the earliest traces of myth.
Pharaohs, all that.
Yeah, there's always the secrets, and it's just a rabbit hole into other shit. So like starting to learn what ancient cultures like, use as their building blocks, like what got society to where it is now, good or bad. What were the thinking, the thoughts and shit. Where did those come from and all that? So if you look at my face right here before I even draw the mouth. If you look up like Eye of Ra or just Egyptian Eye or whatever the fuck, you'll see that the left side of the face and the right side of the face sort of mirror those. And the reason why I do it is to represent there are 2 halves of us. There's masculine half, the feminine half, right? And that's all of society. That's all of humans.
Right.
And when we're able to marry those in union, not like, saying fucking on an island in Hawaii, but when you're able to like move with your masculine and move with your feminine, right? It's like why graffiti is such a beautiful sport. Why it is what it is, because like you do have this it's very masculine machismo, fuck the world, anarchy, I'm gonna spray paint and make everything dirty. Right. But at the other half, what is it? It's art. It's bubble letters. It's curves. It's fucking. It's color theory. It's it's locate. There's life built into it.
Right. It has substance.
Yeah, your mind. Your left half is very logical, very analytical. Right, angles. Your right half is the creative side. Is the female side. Is like your. So when you're working with both halves of those brains, the reason why these 2 eyes are always the same, the left eye got the nose coming down, the right eye got the eyebrow coming down. So when you look at the shape of the eyes, and I'll get into the shape of the eyes, your brain is registering balance. So like registering, the reason why I do black and white is your brain is registering that polarity, that duality.
The balance.
Yeah, that balance. So for me, it is my version of your yin yang symbol. It's my version of, it's my hieroglyph. Right. And that's why it's always, I stay consistent. Yeah, it's a little different because each face tells a different message. That's what I'm not drawing, I'm writing stories. Like I'm leaving
You're leaving a story. Yeah. You're leaving a little tale. Like,
yeah, for real, dude. And that's just one of the things I always hope people realize. There's just a lot more than me just scribbling a smiley face.
Right. So is it fair to say everyone's different? It's never like the same?
Yeah, every single face is different. Like if you really look, even from the beginning of my career to now, there's a vast evolution. But if you look at one canvas, yeah, from far back, everybody looks the same. Just like if you look at a crowd of people, right? But like you really take a look, you see
There's
one
little differences.
Yeah, dude's got a big nose. Dude's got small ears. You know, this lady got a big ass head. She got short hair. So it's just those things which make up this whole fabric of reality, right? All of these things are continuously connected forever. You die, then my baby's getting born, vice versa, type shit. So this life is a repeat pattern. So if you look at the eyeballs, those, if you look up, whoever's listening, just research what a vesica Pisces is, and that's the perfect center point of two circles. So when you have one circle here, you're a baby in the womb, right? You get inseminated by a sperm, bow. And then you begin to split your cells, right? You get this shape right here. It's one of the most sacred shapes in all of humanity. So it's just like what they, the chalice, the Ark or the Covenant, all of that shit. Look up the vesica Pisces in every culture. It's the shape of your eyeballs, the shape of the vagina, it's the shape of the pineal gland, and it represents eternal life. And obviously, when you make 6 of those circles, 6 days of creation, on the 7th day God rested. But those 6 circles, once they're completed, that creates the flower of life. And like that whole image has been found on multiple continents in ancient cultures since the beginning of time.
Right.
So that's where my faces come from. It's just, for me, I'm leaving behind a relic. So like when we all leave and the aliens finally take over and shit, hopefully they'll find my fucking messages and, the intent left
be able to
behind.
decipher them, right?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man. What kind of inspired you with all that shit?
One rap music verse by Mac Miller. He said, Rick Rubin taught me transcendental meditation. And I was like, that's such a fire bar. Also, my name is Rubin. Rick Rubin. I'm familiar with him because of 99 Problems and all the work he did on Black Album. So I researched Rick Rubin after the Black Album and saw, this was a long time ago.
Right.
Just like how into like esotericism in his mind and like all that shit he was.
What kind of shit he was on, right?
For sure. So the album Faces by Mac Miller, ironically, is one of those things that sort of like started to wake up my consciousness. But I used to listen to the Beatles heavy, like all through high school, college. The Beatles and Bob Marley. Like there was like a fucking knowledge, a piece of knowledge that I would find in that music.
They're dropping gems on you, man.
Hell yeah. So then if you get to the Beatles Rubber Soul album, I started to look up, all right, Beatles, what were their drug songs about? And that's what got me curious into like psychedelics. Then I started looking up, all right, what successful people use psychedelics? Steve Jobs, Oprah, Mark Zuckerberg, all those motherfuckers do ayahuasca. All of them do fucking psychedelics. I'm like,
the big one was Aaron Rodgers lately. He went on some night retreat, some black cabin retreat before he fucking says what he's gonna do. Like,
shout out that, man. Like, we need to start having more of those conversations because like we're barely in a place now where like you can have a problem with a dude who's your homie and y'all could talk about it. Like this past year, that's been my favorite thing is anybody that I've been in like a squabble with. It's just like, yo, let's just fucking talk about it.
you gotta get past that shit.
Yeah, so if you have like your football heroes being able to talk about fucking their drug use, like how it's helping their mental health and shit, that's going to like severely soften the hardness. There's no, obviously, as a father, dude, like I'm not trying to raise anybody soft.
Right.
Outside of this sense of like, you need to make space for, to change your mind, to like change someone else's mind and shit like that. So I think it's super dope when you got a dude like Aaron Rodgers, a fucking Super Bowl champion, someone who society would call a man's man, out here talking about, I'm changing my life.
He's a fucking clown. That's what he is.
I mean, again, I don't fuck with the Packers like that, so
Right.
whatever.
The idea, props with that fool. You know what I'm saying?
Go Bills.
Hey, do you ever see there being dispensaries for mushrooms like they are for cannabis here in the future?
If I had to answer the question right now, gun to my head, I'm going to say no.
Never ever?
No, bro.
There's not going to be a place that sells chocolate bars?
You can buy them online. I think that'll be the rule. Like, you could only... Nah, I don't see people like selling psilocybin at Whole Foods unless you can sell it at Whole Foods. That's it.
Not at like a supermarket, but just think of like a cigar. Remember like back in the days when people smoked cloves? And you would have to go to like the fucking cigar shop.
But bro, think about it like this: it's not when you was buying cigars and tobacco and alcohol, that shit was designed to keep you in the trap, right? It was like whether they were trying to do it or not. Yes, that shit was addictive for a reason. If you're giving people psychedelics, yeah, half of those people, they'll have like a trip or whatever, but like another half of those people will have a fucking spiritual awakening and wake up to shit, and that's not too good for, I feel like the people who, run the world, so they don't want the world to have, I guess, weed is crazy enough, bro. Like, I know people who used to fucking hound me for smelling like weed coming into the house, and now knowing those people like smoke weed on their way to work type shit, and I'm like, wow, I remember those days, and that changed my life. I remember like how my whole ass thought process changed. So like, you give the world 10 years on psychedelics, holy shit, we're gonna have a different planet. You're gonna have guys building more spaceships in their backyards, and
it's gonna be on, huh?
Yeah, all these Instagram girls with like the horoscopes and shit. You know what I mean? They're gonna start collecting moon water, and they're gonna wake up to all their shit, bro. So for the people in charge, I don't think that's a great idea. That's the only thing that scares me.
What's your go-to psychedelic? Do you have one?
Weed.
Weed?
Yeah, we don't give weed its props enough. Weed is definitely a psychedelic. It changes your thought process and like, you know what I mean? Close your eyes and go to another place. But, am I allowed to say DMT on here?
Say whatever you want.
Man, I remember when I first got into... real quick, I'll get into it.
Go for it.
First got into psychedelics, it was like an acid trip. I was already on some like, we are one. We are collective conscious. I was already on that tip before doing psychedelics. And that's why my homies were like, damn, Rube, you never fucking tripped or did anything like that? And I was like, nah, I'm Puerto Rican. So then, first acid trip in a hotel room, bought an iPad and an Apple Pencil. That day was when they first released them. It was back in 2016.
It was on.
Yeah, bro. I ate 2 tabs of acid, a Chiba Hut sandwich, and I was in the Brown Palace. And I fucking tripped all night long. Took my tabs at 7, stayed up till 7 a.m., took a shower, drew. The only conversation that changed in my head was like I was nicer to myself. So I like believed in my art. So like literally I sketched for years, bro. And it was the night I did the same thing, just did it on acid. And
what was the difference?
Yeah. Nothing, just my state of mind, bro. Just like I broke a mental barrier. A lot of people, without even knowing it, like you're speaking to yourself the way motherfucker spoke to you when you were a kid. That's why you're so angry. That's why you're so like, you're still doubtful and trapped because you're waiting for that permission, and that permission's got to come from somewhere. And a lot of us don't know how to give ourselves that permission or be that voice. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what psychedelics does. It allows you to really dissect all those voices in your mind, sort of change the conversation. That's why mushrooms is important, because mushrooms is natural, wasn't made in the lab, but with the dose, whether you're tripping balls or you're microdosing, it definitely allows you that time to like be in your head. You don't want to be in your head too much, but like if you're using it as a skill, right? We said it in the beginning of this podcast, too much of anything is bad for you.
Correct.
Moderation. So like for me now, when I use psychedelics, I've rarely ever used psychedelics to get fucked up, and if you do, that's you, whatever. But me personally, when I use psychedelics, I think about it the way my ancestors did. Like natives, we fucking ate mushrooms, smoked peyote, and did ayahuasca and all that shit, and like that's where the stories came from. Dragons are dinosaur bones, people. That's it. But being able to have like a spiritual practice with it and an intention, that's why I say DMTs, because just like for me, it's not something I need often. It's something I could like I can touch once every blue moon. and even microdose it. I don't even, need to blast off or whatever.
So I've kind of heard of DMT, and I've kind of know a little bit. Can you explain a little bit about it though, or
man, hey Robert, you want to put on a headset?
I mean, is it something? Because like you said, when you take some acid, that's just hitting you up till 8 in the morning.
Acid is crazy, man. Obviously, like I've had a 22-hour acid trip in San Francisco. That was amazing.
I've actually had some acid off of Hayden Ashbury.
Yeah. Okay. So like doing acid in San Francisco is a thing.
That's
like, shout out Grateful Dead.
Exactly.
But when it comes to, and also I feel like when you're on acid, it's like a roller coaster, right? You're just like you hit the peak and then you come down. Whereas mushrooms is just like a wave,
just quick.
Where it washes over you, like you come in and out of it. Your peak, for me at least. But when it happens to DMT, that shit, you're there and back, baby. Like, it's nothing to fuck around with. And, like, I got family members and cousins and shit who are like, yo, Rube, put me down. No, absolutely not. You're casually...
I'm not going to have your crazy ass.
Absolutely not. You're casually dying, dude. I don't know what you're going to see. I don't know what's locked inside of you type shit. A lot of people who've done DMT, like, we've seen a lot of the same things. I remember my first DMT trip.
Real quick, how long does this last? Is this like a minute?
About 15.
15 minutes?
About 15 minutes, man. And that's kind of spot on for like every single time I've done it. And depending on like like some people blast off, some people don't. I've definitely blasted off a couple times in my life. All the other times, man, the veil is pulled back. So just like imagine just standing in your shower and then pulling back the curtain. And then, I don't know, it's like things you've never the shit behind you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just things that are instinctual to you. It's a dream, essentially. And like, for me, people don't know this. When I was 8 years old, my heart stopped for 8 minutes. I had to go under anesthesia. And like,
shit.
They had to fucking shock me to awake and stuff. And the first time I was on DMT was the first time I've ever felt like I was that 8-year-old kid again. Like I felt a connection to him because it was so, I don't want to say familiar, but it was like, all right, yeah, I know these are things that you know. So like a lot of people, at least that I've talked to, including myself, like looking for answers for some shit. Most of us when we're on psychedelics. When I came back for my first time blasting off ever, bro, I was content. It's like, okay, cool. Well, I don't need any answers. We know it all. It's all there. And really, like, if you're holding on to some shit right now, you probably shouldn't do it. You need to be prepared to accept the fact that this reality isn't real. Like, none of this shit is outside of a dream. Like, this shit is just as much as a dream as when you go to sleep and wake up. So,
do you think we're in the Matrix?
Oh God, yes. This is the conversation I'm trying to have, bro. We can talk art whenever, but this is the shit that I'm talking about every day. Yes, sir.
Have you ever seen anything that's kind of some glitchy ass shit or some shit that you couldn't explain that you're like, what the fuck that made you?
On drugs, yeah, cool, easy, and then you can blame the drugs. But when it happens in real life,
exactly,
that's the shit where I freak out. And it can be like, oh, manifestation and parking spots. Not what I mean right now. But being able to see, like, watch matter move, watch real life shift to like your conversation or your awareness. I totally accept and agree that we run off some sort of algorithm, right? One, it's a collective conscious, and if it's a collective conscious, and every religion is like pointing us back to like one ultimate omnipresent being and shit, then what is that? That's a fucking program, or some dude in a video game. Have you ever seen the Lego movie?
Yes.
All right, so say less. The Lego movie, between The Matrix, Lego movie, and Free Guy, Matrix 1. Those are the only 3 movies that you really need to like accept reality right now. In the sense that like subatomic particles, they're only reactive if they're being observed. You know what that means?
Right.
Meaning under a microscope, the teeniest, tiniest particles of an atom, right? The ones that you're watching are the only ones that do shit. Okay? Meaning...
It's like does a tree make noise in the forest if no one's there
right.
to hear it?
I hate to sound like a guy on methamphetamines just because I watched the movie and he said this. Like he had said something. He's like, if I turn my head right now, Rob doing his thing, right? I can't see him behind me. Is all that shit paused until I turn around, right?
Right.
Like, and that was what DMT for me sort of fucking freaked me out, was because I totally saw my kids. I totally like saw myself
Leap.
yeah, like breaking to a billion different triangles, which is crazy because the triangle is the most structurally sound shape in whatever the fuck. I don't know the words right now. I'm high, but the triangle is supposed to be the strongest and most structurally sound shape. And if you look at like any of these, like now me working in video games and virtual reality and stuff. Crazy because I'm inside of this headset for like 14, 15 hours at a time. And when I come out, I'm readjusting and things.
Right.
But when I'm in there for 30, 40 minutes at a time, like I fucking forget about everything else. I'm completely immersed. And at what point, you know, like I'm about to watch a baby be born, right? At what point does he start to remember shit? About 6 years old? Cool. But like, all right, really though? What is... When you're looking back and digging back in your consciousness, like, what are you bringing from another life type shit? Or another program, or the last time you played this game and they put you in this cartridge. So, you know.
Do you believe that we've all lived other lives?
Absolutely. 100%.
What are some of your past lives? Do you know?
It's crazy that you're asking me this shit. This
They're
is
playing
the shit.
Around the Way Girl, too.
Bro, nah, this
LL
is...
Cool J. Nah.
Whoa. What do you know about my life? Did you research about me?
No.
My mom dated LL Cool J in high school.
They're playing it underneath.
Oh, shit, I don't hear it.
But
My
no.
microphone.
Yeah.
That's crazy. My dad was a dope dealer.
We kind of talked about that.
Yeah, he used to rob LL. Anyways.
Jeez.
But some of my past lives, again, I'm going to sound like a crazy person, but... whatever. Some of my past lives, I definitely believe I was a young ass kid in a city. I died young unexpectedly. It was an accident. Like I fell off of something. I see that shit happen all the time.
Are you afraid of heights?
I'm not necessarily afraid of heights. My biggest fear is speed. I'm afraid of going fast. Like going too fast, I just like I can't
You ever
handle
have a
it.
crazy ass friend that just loves to drive like a bat out of hell? Like, you know what I mean?
I'm
Just
not friends with
crazy
those
slur.
people. Just like, you
Nah,
know
man,
what I mean? Yeah,
back
hell
in the day,
yeah.
A couple people in high school, bro. I used to, man, just
Even now, if the Uber's doing too much, bro, I will fucking 1-star you in the back seat, and I will straight up hey, I didn't feel safe driving with Gary. I can't do speed. Roller coasters are cool, but like I definitely feel like I'm gonna pee on myself. Anytime I'm going too fast downhill on anything, I'll
that's
lose it,
first
bro.
of all, you don't go fast downhill. Like, no skiing, no sledding.
I don't ski. Nope, I don't do that. I surfed once just to say I was able to do it. But I'm a 90s kid. I love skateboarding. I don't know how to do it. I appreciate the culture. I'm born in 88. Like, skateboard culture was
Young
prime.
ass kid. Young ass cat.
Yeah, man. Young 88, bro. I feel like I'm hanging out with a bunch of fools like, I was born in 95, bro.
You are, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Youngsters, if people are young, man,
Hell
shit.
yeah. But like, yeah, dude, past lives, I completely believe in that. My grandmother, my family's from Puerto Rico. They're from the island. So like, they believed in some wild shit. I totally believe in brujeria and all that. So like, if I meet a girl,
Explain what that is.
witchcraft, bro. Island witchcraft. Don't take that shit lightly. All of this stuff that people be passing back and forth on Instagram. Energy is real. Like, leaving your energy open to shit is real. A large part of, you know, me scaling back in my career and being so like a party favor for people. I used to like draw and paint live a lot. It helped out my career in the beginning, but it drained me, bro. By the time I got back, it took a couple years to where I just started to feel like my spirit depleted, and it took years for me to gain that shit back. And now being in a place to where, yeah, people can totally send you an energetic bomb from a fucking other side of the world just by thinking about you the wrong way.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So like, my grandmother was a scorned Latina at one point in her life, and her and some island lady, they talked about my grandfather. So that just led to, a lot of my whole family just really talking about curses and all of that shit. So me,
I want to say like the older grandmas are into that shit, huh?
Bro, yeah, man. That's why that's why later on in their life they get hella spiritual into fucking Jesus and stuff, because they're like, oh God, it's too late for me.
Right, for real. They know their time's ticking, so they gotta be good.
Yeah, nah, bro. So like, one thing my grandmother always taught me was just like, look, do what you can to help people. You know what I'm saying? Just do no harm. Like, don't seek to harm no one. And those are like her two big life lessons type shit, despite everything. So like, again, when it comes to energy, not on some like Instagram shit, but yeah, sometimes when people are standoffish, it's not because like they don't fuck with you. Sometimes like, I got nothing to do with you. It's just that person protecting their own peace, and that's not a crime. Shout out Richie Hyro. It's one of the things we talked about. He always says it's not a crime to protect your energy, and that's important, especially like painting a wall, like doing a fucking mural and shit like that. You got 1,000 people oh my God, you're getting paid to do that? Oh, you must have been doing that for a long time. Can you write my name on the wall? Is this legal? Like, all the stupid questions and shit.
Stupid ass shit, right?
Yeah, and like, it's okay to engage with folks, but like overindulging in that shit can, like, you gotta fill your own cup, or you gotta leave some juice for you.
On the AirPods, bro.
Bro, I put on a big fat headphones that don't fucking talk to me.
And they still come
Pods. Yeah, bro, they tap you on the shoulder and shit.
Dr. Dre shit, they
I
still
hate
come
it.
up to you.
Super hate it, man. But yeah, it's just, that's crazy. It's crazy. This is the shit we're talking about. So it's the shit I like to talk about.
Yeah, man. Have you ever seen any kind of like, how do I say, like, out of this world shit?
Like supernatural stuff?
Yeah.
No, I can't sit here and tell you I seen ghosts and shit. I don't think I allow that access to my energy type shit. I don't want to see that type of stuff.
Are you afraid of ghosts?
Won't allow that access to me. Are
you afraid of clowns? No.
Oh God. Yeah, I'm afraid of clown ass motherfuckers. No, I'm playing.
No, for real.
Yeah, I'm being afraid of being caught around a clown ass motherfucker. No, I'm playing. But ghosts and stuff. I believe in like low vibration, like low vibrational entities or whatever, and spirits who can inhabit folks and shit. Yeah, all that shit is real, and that's why it's important to truly maintain presence of like your fucking, like, your guard, your golden bubble and stuff like that. Because if not, you wake up with anxiety in the morning. You don't know who it's coming from. It could be coming from your ex, shooting you hatred in the morning. So
giving you that bad juju, right?
Yeah, straight up. So like, if you're not present of like your aura and all that shit, I don't know the spiritual terms. I'm not a shaman or anything. I just know it works for me. And what like keeps me sane and shit. But yeah, absolutely. When it comes to quote unquote ghosts, I believe in energies and spirits. Again, where like that shit definitely can transfer. Like sex, you can't just be out here fucking all wild. Trust me. Almost ruined my life. Believe me, it's a great time as a rock star. Nah, I'm playing.
But when that shit starts getting intertwined and fucking
truly, man, like when you're not being emotionally responsible, when you're not like reciprocating energy, you're absorbing other people's energy and then passing it on, dude. Like,
and that bad energy,
yeah, cool.
99% of the time,
it's cool in the movies and on the songs, and it's just like I fuck 1,000 bitches, blah, blah, blah. But like at the end of the day, how are you really depleting your fucking spirit, and then how are you depleting someone else's, and like what is that again long term?
Because everyone's taking a little piece.
Yeah, when you're giving pieces away and shit, and you're absorbing other people, and now like, yeah, it's easy to feel like an incomplete person. Duh, like your
like
puzzle pieces don't even match, bro.
It says like some bad drugs.
Yeah, truly.
Like a bag of bullshit. Like just like.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I don't want to be super vulgar, but like, never mind. I'm not gonna
Say it. Say what you got to say.
Sometimes good pussy's not worth the bad energy. Oh, I said it. So it's just a lesson. I don't know. I'm a father of sons and daughters, so it's just like being brutally honest. I feel like a large part of our generation, we were raised by people. Like, I'm 30 now, and I'm realizing like nurses and like all the people in charge of your teachers and like those people were fucking 30, right? Like yelling at you as a kid, but also having to go home and pay taxes and deal with their cheating spouse. So like, me 30 now, understanding like, holy shit, these young people, like any young person I come in contact with, they look at me as like a person who's in charge of like doing things, like I stimulate the economy, like I move a car in traffic and all that shit. So your perception is hella important. So even this past year, 2022, not like my best year in my personal life. I lost a lot of people when it came to like death in my family, in my personal life.
Sorry to hear that, man.
You know, thank you. But I also lost a lot of like interpersonal relationships and friendships based off of like my behavior in my own life, and whether I feel like it's, you know, that homie's fucking responsibility to judge me or whatever. It's totally up to that person though. And like, bro, I've seen people who you help come up and put on, just like flip on you and just straight up disappear type shit. And I don't know, you just,
it's on to the bigger and the better, bro. And that's
right,
what's sad about it, because we don't think it's like that.
Truly, man. And just like having other focuses, and just, you know, obviously we all gotta grow up and, you know, all that shit. And that's like why my focus has sort of shifted, you know, to like, damn, I had a whole ass family and a whole ass life before any of this art shit.
Right.
So,
but it's like you're trying to think of the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
And for the bigger picture, you need a team. And you start off cool and you start working together. But as soon as one catches their own little lane, it's off. You know what I mean? And then you got to replace that.
Bro.
And then it's like not even like someone that's in the mix that knows what's going on, but someone that you got to show all over again. And you're like, fuck, I hope the same shit doesn't happen this time. So then by the time that goes around a couple times, that person's gone, and then somebody else is gone because they've caught a little niche off of what's going on, the whole production. And you know what I mean? Then you're left there like trying to fucking patch shit up. I know
exactly what you mean, man. For the majority, I roll with a lot of the same people I have since day one. I love that. Like some of my friends in my life I've had for 15, 20 years.
Right.
12, 5, like... If I, you know, if you fuck with me, you stuck with me, type shit.
Right.
That's the way I like to roll. But like you're saying,
that's not the newer.
That's not the young generation.
I don't want to say younger generation, newer generation, but that's not how the new people do it.
Yeah, it's just like how society works now.
To the next.
I don't want to say young generation that mislabels people, but like it's definitely the way society has shifted. The way we scroll up and down our feeds is the way people scroll through relationships and they scroll through network. Exactly. And it sucks. I've seen artists and people fucking ruin their names and their relationships over weed in a fucking couple $100, bro. And my thing is like, yo, how is that sustainable? How are you building any sort of loyalty? Like, I've been rocking with this dude for fucking 4 years now, and this past few months, we finally came up on like what our fire ass idea was. And like, you're right, you do see people. I've had hella cameramen come around me and like get a taste of the fucking life, or get a taste of the struggle, because it's not all funsies. Like Instagram shows you what you want, but like, bro, it's all very real. I'm still on the phone arguing with my ex-wife, like, missing my kids, or fucking I gotta pay bills and I'm late on shit, and like it's all very real. But it's just like, who's going to fucking foot that struggle with you and keep it moving to the other end? Because like, even when we do have the big payday, you get the fucking $50,000 checks. Okay, cool. Well, $50,000 don't last forever.
Nope. And then you got to split it however many ways.
Yeah, you got to take care of the team. And like, it's just, if you can't link with somebody who's got the same mindset as you, Like you can't teach your mindset. You can't convince that to somebody. And I think, like I've definitely experienced that. Loss of relationships when it comes to like business partners or friends or like even people who you've came up with in the sense of like, yeah, everybody's got to go off and do their own thing. That's fine. But also you can't drag people and you can't push people, right? You gotta fucking
put up with the bullshit.
Right, RuPaul says it the best. If you can't love yourself, how the hell are you gonna love anybody else? But if your shit's fucked up, you can't help anybody else either. You know what I mean? So it's just where I've been. It's just like outside of art and business, fuck that. Like I really need to get that's what I've been focusing on. It's just like where was my family time? What is my work-life balance? Like, where are my vices? Do I drink too much? Do I smoke too much? Am I like too promiscuous? Like, what are my distractions? Like, how can I fucking be better? Damn, I don't walk enough. I don't even breathe enough. I should probably focus on deeper breaths and like eat breakfast. So all of that shit has led into just me having doper opportunities in life and shit because, you know, I'm working on a TV show. I won't tell you with who, but I will tell you it's a kids' TV show. And like having that opportunity to even pitch that shit to a network, you know, is
most people's dreams, bro.
For real, man. Like, cool, it could be luck, but for me, I'm personally going to tie that to the energy that I set forward and that intent. That like, all right, cool, I'm gonna take care of myself in the smallest ways. Like I'm gonna get myself a new whip. I'm gonna fucking pay my rent out a few months. I'm gonna spend more time with this family member. I'm gonna call my mom. Like small things, right?
Small steps.
Yeah, man. It's just like they lead to bigger waves. So that's just where I'm at in life, man. I see you pushing the VR shit over here, bro. What?
Yeah, let's go talk about that. Let's talk about your video games, man. What's your video game incorporate?
Yes. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I've been working with a crypto company called Ripple XRP. Shoot it at Google. Your head will spin. But they had a creator grant fund last year of like 250 mil. And
God damn.
I write proposals pretty nicely. So one opportunity leads to another, and like I could totally spin off into how that happened. But just again, keeping good network. I ended up like getting funding to access this Google program. So Google released the licensing for their program Tilt Brush. I was able to work with some developers and reprogram that as Rube VR. So I own a video game that you can paint inside of virtual reality 360. You're the paintbrush. So whether you want to be the fucking marker or the oil pen, you know, you can paint a whole ass canvas, and instead of looking at it 2D, you're actually inside of the canvas walking around. If you want to try it out, bro, I'll let you hop in.
For sure. Sounds crazy,
It's
man.
insane. So what I ended up doing with that, though, was taking, you know, all those brushes and things like that and building virtual worlds so that you could, like, walk around and explore and hide shit in.
Right.
So knowing that, like, I don't know 10,000 people who want to download my app. Like, I'm not making $1 million off this. Figured out how to hustle my network and started to introduce virtual reality immersive experiences to cannabis. So like letting these weed companies come build a whole ass VR world, and then letting their customers fly around and, you know, explore it and shit, and, you know, use it as creative marketing and stuff. I just gave away my sauce online, but that's fine. Y'all can't catch up at this point.
So it's basically basically just like a world where you kind of just see like all kinds of different stuff, or
yeah, bro. So just imagine like having a really trippy experience for your favorite weed brand, right? So like you know, let's take MPEX art, and you can go into that box. What would that look like? What would that sound like? What would it feel like? Go into like a box of Tikal.
Tikal.
Yeah.
Cow.
Yeah, right, exactly. Because the song, everybody you talk to in weed, I was like, Tikal. And I'm like,
Did
y'all
I
don't
say it the wrong way?
Bro, I cringe because I'm like, y'all don't listen to hip hop. that's okay.
That's
I love Method Man. I was like,
that's on you, bro. You gotta let these motherfuckers know how to say your shit right.
Nah,
They can't be
man.
saying it wrong.
let these stars alone, bro. I got some stuff for Meth, man. I actually got a mean ass VR world that I cooked up for Tikal. It was pretty fire.
So you know what that kind of reminds me of, real quick?
What's up?
Do you ever remember Dave Chappelle?
Yes.
When
Absolutely.
he does like the little skit with Redman and he's
Yup.
inside the toilet on the fucking jet ski.
Yeah,
with
the jet
bitch.
ski.
And like, there's some corn right there.
Some
like,
rocket pads.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So you're actually going into the fucking, you know what I mean?
If your period is dropping, we catching it. Blow.
We catching it.
I'm Dame Dash. See.
That shit's too funny.
Yeah, I watch
bro.
the Chappelle show too often, so bro, I got them all.
That's what that shit kind of sounds like to me. Me.
But yeah, no, the VR shit is definitely where I kind of shifted my focus into technology. Like, how am I taking technology, my art, my network, and the things I want to do? I'm a father. I'm a veteran. I'm a graffiti painter. So like being able to use all of these things and service different communities outside of just like smoking weed and being cool at parties on Instagram. Like, how do you really use everything that, you know, we've been talking about for years type
Right.
shit? And like, what's the next step? So if the next step is like a children's show, cool. If the next step is veteran rehab with these programs, cool. If the next step is me bringing immersive experiences and initiating these artist collaborations within cannabis, like, I mean, other people can try to do it. Cool, you might be successful, but I also know I'm going to be extremely successful. So go ahead and get your bag. But kind of shifting, I've always said it to the people closest, they're sick of hearing this, but shifting more so to like Quincy Jones' role of shit. Let me set up plays. Let me be in the background and like watch legendary shit happen by watching, you know, excellent people do things. So
That's what I was gonna say. Could you do something like a VR like concert?
absolutely, dog.
Like if you had, say, Wu-Tang,
Done.
and they did 10 different concerts,
Easy.
and you have your VR and just
Done.
you get in there and get to see the concert,
Bro.
Like you're at it, like fucking, but not there.
One of these days, I'll show you, like, after we're done developing the shit that we're done developing, we'll do, like, a visual podcast, and I'll put you on all the shit that I'm building right now. Can't say too much just because, like, NDAs.
And you want people stealing your shit? Cause
Oh, absolutely not.
Motherfuckers will steal your shit.
I'm gonna be
bro.
stupid rich, and niggas, you know what I'm saying, like, motherfuckers who are hate on me now, just fine. You're, like, gonna, like, have to borrow money from me eventually, so.
Dang.
I'm very petty, so I'll lend it to you, too, and won't even ask for it back.
Funny. Well, shit, man. What kind of shit you got? What kind of shit you got going on in like next couple months? What kind of shit? Where do you see you going?
Man, I'm supposed to be doing an activation for South by Southwest. Like, I'm trying not to be caught in the thick of it. I got a new.
If you go down there, you need to let me know.
Okay, I seriously will. I'm trying to set some stuff up for some Colorado people over there.
Yeah.
The people at Austinite Cannabis Company. If you're ever in Austin, just bang their line. Tell them Rube sent you. They'll take care of you. But being able to like have full access to a venue and full access to weed in Texas,
Be nice.
in Austin, Texas, like that's again using your network the way, you know, to your advantage and to other people's advantage type shit. So making sure everybody wins. Boom. Shit. I'm gonna open this dispensary. That's gonna be cool.
Is that here in town or what?
Yeah, that's off of I-70 in Colorado, Spark.
Okay.
It's like the creative director. So really, my involvement there is just that. Like, I kind of liaison the artists, make sure they're getting paid, make sure like their art makes sense with what we're doing. I had a chance to like talk to a few brands, quite a few brands, and just like sort of have them support the mission. And like as my proof of concept, like cool, all of the cool art that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use your brand to be, you know, the statue or to be the VR world and stuff like
You need
that.
to teach a motherfucking class.
Bro, what's up, bro?
You know what I'm saying?
Someday you'll be talking to Professor Rube. Absolutely. Later on in my life, I see myself doing that. I want to teach. I've always wanted to teach, but I'm gonna start elementary school. But someday I want to teach, you know, motherfuckers how to get paid and like pay themselves and be
real.
smart about it.
It's the important part, especially nowadays. There's so much way.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, I was watching a podcast with Adam 22, and he was saying like some ridiculous numbers, bro. And he's like, you can make money. You just need the team and the people to put in the work. And once it gets rolling, like, and he's like so many things. And I see it.
Yeah,
I mean, I see cats wearing like, I seen one podcast where the dude was wearing like these jackets that he got. You know what I mean?
Right.
Plugging shit.
Bro, seriously, man. You know how much checks I get?
Manscaped, I hear. I always hear Manscaped getting
Bro,
plugged on the podcast.
For real. Like, I sat down, I said, dialed in Eureka. Why? Ha. Because, like, if I am creating a social viral moment, you know what I mean? That's all a dollar sign. Every wall, to me, when I walk in the city or walk into a store, that's a check. That's an amount of dollars that could be made. So, like, down to branding yourself, right? As an artist, as somebody who's, like, really trying to get themselves on or whatever, like, you got to go all the fucking way. You can't just be cute on Instagram and do reels and shit. I don't fucking touch reels or whatever. Right. I look at my Instagram. I barely post, but that does not stop my bag, my check flow coming in, because, like, at the end of the day, that shit's temporal, right? The next craze in social media, the next craze in humanity is coming in. But it's the folks, like, if you're able to, like, gauge that and see where you fit in, cool. Instagram used at one point, yes, that was one part, like the fucking 99% of what drove my career.
I think that's what we all focus on.
Right.
But like you said, you need to just use it and then just fall back.
You need to focus on your long-term interpersonal relationships. Like the fact that I've been working with the same clients for 4 or 5 years, still collecting checks. Yeah. Like, those are secrets that I learned from watching other artists who were like, yeah, you keep a good rapport, you keep a good name in the streets. And then you create opportunities for that network. So if I just got paid from you and I'm going to go get paid from him next, I'm going to see, yo, what are you working on? Yo, you should talk to this guy because there's an idea there. Mm-hmm. And then if that works out, both of y'all are like, sweet.
Like we talked about earlier, the bridge, and we like, yeah.
Right, the bridge you go back and forth off of.
People forget that, though. You know what I mean? Like you said, that shit happens or reciprocates. And when it's time to, then when it's time to reciprocate, it's like, oh.
Yeah, nah, bro, you gotta fucking...
you know, like,
stay solid, man. Like, life is long, and just, like, we all go through shit, and, like, we all go through hard shit, and we're not always asking to fucking...
For the world, Craig.
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean? It's not, yeah.
Everyone has their own strife and drama, and it's just, like, if you're able to just dig down and give, like, that 1% to just that person next to you, or just, like, reach out. Like, today, I hit my homie up, thinking about you. You know, even if you ain't talk to him in a while, or you talk to him every day, like that that small interaction solidifies so much between two people. And I feel like a lot of the people who I've interacted with over the years, I've met some solid people who've changed my life. The majority of the people I've met, great people. And then you also meet transactional relationships. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with those people, but you also understand those relationships aren't giving me anything. Like,
they're all one way.
Yeah, so. Yeah, bro.
Hell yeah. Hey, what you been bumping to lately? What you been listening to music-wise? Kind of curious.
Okay, this is a really, really good question because I got an answer for you. Bad Bunny.
Okay.
Bad Bunny for sure. Shout out Ice Spice. Like, this shit just been... It comes on and it bops. But the shit that I like really listen to and like gets me through my day, 70s Soul. I have a Spotify station I like fucking like to listen to. Roy Ayers Radio. My life in the sunshine.
Nice.
Yeah, that era of music. Yeah, so when I'm home, that's usually what's playing. I haven't been on a wall, so I haven't needed fucking audio cocaine lately. When I do listen to music on a wall, it's something that's like super upbeat. I can't be listening to like hella introspective rap. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We at the bus stop. I can't listen to J. Cole because he make music for dudes who are late for their job at Wendy's. I'm fucking with you.
Cool.
Whoa, hey, what's up, man? Sorry, special guest walked in. Guess we should wrap up soon.
What are you
bad.
watching right now? You've been watching, like, you watch TV, you watching YouTube, you watching the internet, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. So I watch, lately this past week, I've been watching a lot of M. Night Shyamalan films. just trying to take him in as a director.
Yeah. Like, what are some of his movies, you know?
Signs, fucking Split, Unbreakable, Sixth Sense.
Okay, I remember Unbreakable.
Yeah. So like all those types of movies. All of his movies have a twist. Usually people hate them. Usually I hate them. But like, I like watching thrillers. I like watching mysteries. Shit like that. When it comes to YouTube and stuff, absolutely conspiracy shit.
Conspiracy
For fun,
shit.
that's what I draw to. Always ancient human history type of stuff. Just trying to learn about the Taino people from Puerto Rico, and just like really trying to know as much as I can about my roots lately. So,
Hey, what's some shit that you've been seeing in the streets lately that's just been kind of pissing you off? As far as like just mobbing around, you see some dumb shit, and then you're like, fuck, and then you go around and you see it again, and you're like, fuck, you know what I mean?
people with scooters, with kids on the scooter and the mom, you're fucking stupid.
So the mom with the kid on the scooter.
Yes, absolutely.
And are we talking about like a kid like riding with her, or like a kid in the back?
No, like, okay, so one, recently I saw a person at a mall with a kid on a leash. That was crazy. That still happens. That's wild.
Doing too much.
So that pisses me off. You know what really grinds my gears? That's what this reminds me of. Just complaining about shit. I got a lot of these. Fuck. What else? Okay.
Watching YouTube University, man.
Oh yeah.
Yo, hey, don't hate on YouTube University.
I don't hate on YouTube University.
I said that's what we've been watching.
Yeah, that's just like what we've been doing.
Saving motherfuckers'
Yeah,
ass.
YouTube University been changing my life, bro. I'm the smartest person in the world because of that shit. But I don't know, snow, bro. I just hate snow. I hate looking at it. I hate tasting it. I hate feeling it on my skin. It's just I like snow.
Do you not like snow cones?
Nah,
Like
bro.
blue raspberry?
That is the biggest hustle in the world. I'm paying you for a cup of ice that you squirted.
Oh, water.
You give me a cup of water that you squirted sugar into.
Squirt, yeah.
So I'm paying you for diabetes. Like that's like not even delicious juice.
You gotta say like that.
You're right. Fine.
Hey, so being that you've been traveling a lot, what's kind of you ever seen any crazy shit in the airport? Just some wild ass shit that makes you like, what the fuck, or some double take shit?
Yeah, that's why I don't fly Frontier ever. I will not fly Frontier.
Will not.
No, absolutely not. Quick Frontier story. 2 times in my life, I've been on a Frontier plane, went through the whole thing, gave my ticket, sat down. The lady did the Macarena when she was giving us the first aid thing. And then the pilot was like, okay, everybody get off. And then they're like, this flight has been canceled. So that is probably one of the most frustrating, crazy shits that I sat in.
Any reasons? My shit's always kind of, knock on wood, I've kind of, fly with them the cheaper way. And
Yeah.
never any problems.
See, nah, for me, it's just like the one pilot was just like, I don't feel safe flying this plane. We were like, what the fuck?
Right.
The other pilots were like, ooh, we've hit our 12-hour mark. We can't fly anymore. And that's never happened to me.
So you guys are in the air, right?
No. We were about to taxi and leave.
I got
And they like
shit.
retaxied, fucking put us away, and like made everybody get off. And like everybody had to cancel flight. But in the airport, I smoke a lot of weed.
Right,
so-
all the way up to the point of drop off.
Yeah, bro. I mean, what? You gonna hit the family bathroom?
You know what I'm saying?
What's the plug, bro? I eat a lot of edibles. I like to get airport drunk and people watch. It's just my favorite thing to do. I like to make up stories about people in my mind. Like this guy, like think of like, what is this person going to do, or where do they come from, or how many things they shoplifted that day?
You ever play the game where you put on like the TV or YouTube, whatever, and everyone takes a voice? And
All
you know
day.
What I mean?
Sometimes I'm all the voices.
Yeah,
It's literally why I want to do an animated section of this TV show I'm doing, so I can do voices. I'm not gonna do any of them for you right now. Y'all can't pay me enough, but I got some shit in the tuck.
That's what you've been working on, huh?
Oh yeah, bro.
Hell yeah. Hey, what's your favorite kind of food you've been grubbing on lately, bro? Some shit where you just been like, damn. And you know what sucks is because whenever you eat something bomb and you try to go get it again like the next day, it ain't even halfway near as good, bro.
Easy answer. Quesadilla. Agua de piña. Just every single time. That's all I need.
Every time.
It's those two things. It's an easy answer.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, shit, man, you got any kind of final thoughts? Any things you want to let the people know before we...
Shout out Nice. He's my favorite graffiti writer ever to have ever walked the face of this planet.
No.
He just walked in this building. His hair is long this time, so it's like a little more luxurious since the last time I seen him. You look great, bro.
You see that?
Nah, just shout out everybody getting it, bro. Everybody's still getting up. Everybody's still fucking keeping the culture alive and like risking it for fucking, you know, just to do it.
Graffiti's definitely alive in the city.
Hell yeah, man. You know, Tusk, Tense, Nice. Some folks that I fucking met out in Cali just painting a water park out there. Dask Mimi. Got a chance to meet Alloy, which was lit. So just this past year, stepping away from like walls and shit and just being able to absorb it as a fan is something I'm super grateful for, because like it like reignited my love when it was kind of getting saturated in the
So
city.
you're burnt on it, huh? You're tired, like you said, of the people coming up to you and asking you about the fucking wall. And
Yeah, but like I wasn't doing the
Just
type of shit I
everything.
wanted to do, which was just sometimes I like to get drunk, get on a city bike, and hit tags and
Right.
shit. Like, but
it's a whole different ballgame.
yeah, it's a different ball game when
You said
like
that image is kind of,
Yeah.
you know, has to go along.
Yep, totally. And it's just like being able to balance that and truly grasp at what you want is you got to give up some shit. So that's just where I'm at.
Oh yeah, bro, that's dope. Well, shit, man, definitely appreciate you coming on the podcast. Shit,
Dude, thank you for having us.
we will definitely have to have you again and chop it up some more. You know.
I got some cool shit coming down, so I'll be
Yeah.
back.
All right. Well, there you have it, motherfucking Rube Zilla in the building. Your boy JoeThunder, and we're smoking and we're high as a motherfucker over here. Catch us on all platforms. We out of here. Peace.
Peace.